Thank you. Thanks for having me. So I'm going to talk about FON, the company that I founded, and it's the largest Wi-Fi network in the world. What made FON special is this concept that why should you build hotspots if everybody had a hotspot potentially, and all you had to do was change the firmware, upgrade the firmware in the routers and make them be a hotspot. So it's a crowdsourced Wi-Fi community, and as such, it's become the largest Wi-Fi network in the world. We have 15 million homes that have FON, and now in Germany with Deutsche Telekom, maybe some of you already have us. We work with the telecom operators, and when we started, we were called the FON revolution, and a lot of people accused us of sleeping with the enemy, teaming up with the telcos. But in the end, it really worked out, and I guess the telcos wanted to see Wi-Fi everywhere for their own reasons. The latest numbers on the iPhone 6 Plus in the United States is that 83% of the iPhone traffic is going via Wi-Fi. So it's basically cellular or mobile has become what you use when you can't find Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is huge now. And FON has been especially successful all over Europe. We have blanketed Europe. It was interesting, this concept of sharing Wi-Fi at home and roaming the world for free turned out to be a more European concept, Japanese concept, like we were very well received in Japan, more so than in the United States, where it took quite a while to get going. I'm not saying the Americans are less sharing people, but they're more sometimes concerned about this concept of some spooky people using my Wi-Fi or something like that. If you go to a city like Paris, you see that basically we have Wi-Fi everywhere. And there's an incredible growth in Wi-Fi chipsets. Now it's not only Wi-Fi for smartphones, it's Wi-Fi for the Internet of Things, for music players, for all sorts of products. The amount of traffic is exploding. Wi-Fi has become the de facto signal, and it's the only truly global signal, because when you have mobile, what you basically have is like competing standards, different LTE, or look at the history, Edge, GPRS, CDMA, 4G. But Wi-Fi is always Wi-Fi. Every device works no matter where you are. It's just easy to connect. It's also faster in most cases, and people care about speeds. But what people mostly care about with Wi-Fi is the fact that it's unmetered. And operators have made LTE. LTE is a fantastic way of communicating. But if you watch, let's say, House of Cards, Netflix House of Cards, you basically run out of your data plan after a few episodes, and the whole binging method doesn't work. We also been working a lot on Wi-Fi for business, and I think that this is something that surprises people here in Germany and other places, that you just don't have Wi-Fi in many shops. In the beginning, shops thought that Wi-Fi was bad because people would actually compare prices and not buy because they would just see on their phones, whatever. Now they realize that everybody has phones anyway and they can compare. But Wi-Fi has become a way to know when people are on your shop, because Wi-Fi smartphones have these MAC IDs that are always on, and they are beaming presence. And so with Wi-Fi, shops can decide when to open, when to close, how many salespeople to have. Wi-Fi has also become a radar of knowing where people are. And I think that's something that's helping a lot of us do better in business. With shops, what we do is we just customize the Wi-Fi experience. We tell people what they are. We log in with Facebook. And so Facebook is a way to draw more people into the shops. People say where they are. Their friends come over, and so on. And you learn more about your customers, and you learn more about who's coming to your shop, when to open. Then another product that we've developed and launched recently is the Gramophone. We have some Gramophones here, so if you come and see me after the talk, maybe I'll give you a Gramophone if you're nice. The Gramophones, so what do the Gramophones do? Well, the Gramophones give Wi-Fi. The Gramophones extend Wi-Fi, but the Gramophones also turn any sound system into a cloud music player. Now, you would say, well, Bluetooth does that too. But yeah, but when you're connected with Bluetooth, and you get a text sign, or you go and open the door, your friends don't have any music anymore, there's only a 7-meter range. When you're connected with a gramophone, you play a playlist, you then go get some beer, whatever, leave your house, your friends have music, because the gramophone itself is a little computer that plays the music, that plays Spotify, that plays your own music, that plays music services. Now, the reason we developed the gramophone is because when you look at video, if you look at a TV, you think of a TV from the 90s or a TV from the 80s or a TV even from 10 years ago. Like, TVs got so much better now that people want the latest TV. But think of sound. Think of a sound system from the 90s. Think of a Stradivarius, okay? Think of sound that was made hundreds of years ago. Somehow we are better and better at doing video, but we're not better at doing sound. And so people were being told, hey, throw away your sound system, buy a Sonos. I mean, the Sonos functionality is very similar to the gramophone. But the gramophone is the cloud music without the sound system, so you can preserve the sound system that you like. And that is something, it's kind of like a hipster idea using an old bike, whatever. It's like, why am I going to throw away a sound system that I love because it doesn't have cloud music? So we added cloud music to any sound system that you may have. And then we started working with the sound streaming services, because I think that sound music is something that piracy, like a lot of people download music and they don't pay for music, and that is particularly popular in Europe, actually, and many places around the world. But I think that I'm not against piracy. I'm not here to give you like a legal talk on piracy and say piracy is wrong. I just think piracy is inconvenient, that these services like Spotify are just better than piracy. That piracy is not free. You have to buy hard drives. You have to do a lot of, there's sort of a paraphernalia of piracy. And if you can have all the music in the world for €9 a month, I don't know if you guys remember buying CDs, but I'm sure a lot of people here bought CDs at some point in their life. For the price of one CD, you get all the music in the world. So piracy is kind of stupid to me. It's not a question of legal or illegal. It's just stupid compared to the alternatives. It's better just to pay for these services. And I think that's going to change the mentality. Also, Netflix. I was looking at Netflix. They recently launched in Spain and Italy, and they had this all anti-piracy comments. And I was thinking, this is silly. It's not that it's anti-piracy. It's just that it's better. You know, like Netflix shows you where you ended up watching here and there. I just think all these services are better. But they need little computers to play these services out. In video, you have Apple TV, you have Chromecast, you have the Samsung TVs are getting this inside, the LG TVs are getting this inside. But in sound, the gramophone is the only alternative that is just a little box to play that out. There's the Internet of Things, which is also so Wi-Fi related. Like, I've been evangelizing Wi-Fi since 2005 and say that Wi-Fi was going to regulate your temperature, and people thought I was nuts. And now you see like the Nest, and you see the Nest is a Wi-Fi thermostat that regulates the temperature, right? Now, when you look at the Nest, what does the Nest really do? What the Nest does is it shows when you're at home and you're not at home. It has a presence detector, that's it. Why is that important? Well, because heating, cooling, you save 23% in heating and cooling bills, they say, depending on where you live. That's good for the environment. So Wi-Fi has become a presence. There's a presence element to Wi-Fi that they know when you're in. I think the next big thing is going to be Wi-Fi locks that open themselves up when you walk in. And there's a number of other elements in the home, like lights and so on, that are all Wi-Fi related and that we're all going to enjoy. So this is the end of my talk. I think Wi-Fi rules, it's everywhere, and FON is a big part of the ecosystem. Thank you, and if you'd like to do a gramophone, get in touch with me. Bye-bye.